Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eagle, and welcome back to another episode inside a technological journey. A lot of Greg Tech things happened in the last episode, like building these two lines here. But today, we're going to take a little bit of a diversion, at least for a little bit, and kind of have some fun with some applied Energistics. As you can see, I actually upgraded the coils of these two EBS to tungsten steel, which is allowing us to smelt up some of this EV superconductor base ingot. So that's going to be important to get the next tiers of circuits, which we will get into as well today. I also want to show you over here, I expanded this room behind our applied Energistics system. We added a couple more terminals, a pattern terminal, and that's the big thing we want to work on today. Made a bunch of patterns, and we're going to start working on some auto crafting because I'm tired of crafting stuff manually. And I'm sure everyone has been pulling their hair out, and I've been trying to put it off, I guess, for I guess just fear of not really understanding. But we have this room back here that we opened up that opens up right into our tree farm. So this is going to be our applied Energistics room. It'll probably wrap around to the other side as well, where all of our crafting storages are going to be, our molecular assemblers are going to be, and right here we're going to have some storage set up. So I kind of made a little server rack here with a fan using the factory blocks. I think this is a super cool design, and we're going to have a few of these set up with both fluid and item storage cells to help us have as many items as we can possibly store. But this is a good start for right now. So let's hop right into it, and we're going to start with some applied Energistics. So here's the basic AE setup that I have going right now. Over here, I have the molecular assembler array set up with a ME interface. These are the things that act like the crafting tables that you can use to craft stuff in our 9x9 crafting grid. This is useful, but it will not be as useful as using these interfaces on the back of machines, such as the assembler. This is just kind of a stopgap and allows us to craft some basic things in our actual interface themselves. Moving on over here, we have our crafting co-processing unit and then our storages. This just allows for the items to be stored temporarily while these are being crafted. So this is going to be super useful, but I really want to start turning these interfaces into the machine interfaces, and then we can actually start automating the actual Greg Tech machines, which is the plan. I also want to change out these glass cables for the covered cables because they convert at a 4:1 ratio. So each one of these will give me 4 of those cables. And because we're not using channels, we don't really have to worry about them being smart cables or how they're running off of these ME controllers. Now, there may be some issues that arise in regards to that, but I haven't run into that yet, so I'm not worried yet. But the plan here, these two lines are going to be set up for these molecular assembler arrays. And then over here will be these crafting storages and the co-processing units. And then over here, like I said before, is going to be the item and fluid storage. So that's kind of how we have this set up right now. Now that that's taken care of, we can start checking some things off of our quest book. I pinned a few things over there on the right that are going to kind of propel us into the next stage here. The first thing I want to get done is I want to make myself a nano mainframe, which is going to be our first LUV circuit. Super exciting. And I think all we need to do that is move some stuff into the advanced circuit assembling machine. Let's check the recipe. Okay, so 50, we should be able to make 2 of them, which is what we're planning on making. I have my IV nano computers set up in here. And then we're going to need, I think, one of each of these nanos. Or we're going to need diodes for sure. Let's double check it. We need diodes, resistors, and transistors. And some RAM. Resistors, transistors, and some RAM. And the last thing we're going to need is a tungsten steel frame here. Craft that up. We're gonna need 2 of them. We're gonna need 8. And that, in theory, should be an LUV circuit. Let's get all this stuff in here. Boom, boom. There we go. And we are crafting our LUV circuit. After 25 seconds, we should have that. So we're gonna let those things cook up, and we should get that quest completed. I also want to make this Starlight crafting altar, and that's going to require us to head back to Pluto and use our crafting station to make ourselves the luminous crafting table. So we're going to need 2 of these double tungsten steel plates, which I've already made, and some marble. We can use a rock crystal for this, and this ruined marble, which takes a little bit more to craft. We need some tungsten foil, more marble, and some fine platinum wire. Okay, I don't know if we have any of that. This isn't going to work right now because whenever we craft circuits, our AE system goes down. But we're almost done with crafting, so it should be okay. There we go. 2 LUV circuits. Wow, the nano mainframes. Those are sick looking. Super cool. Super, super cool. We can put those back in there. We can put this stuff in there as well. Awesome. We have the nano mainframe done. Cool. Let's unpin that. Let's work on the Starlight crafting altar. So we need platinum. We're going to need to craft a little bit of wire. Let's see. Can we craft that directly? And then this should be going back into the wire mill to make more platinum wire. Okay, so we have to run this through a couple times to get ourselves some fine platinum wire. And while that's going, we'll start making some... We will start making some tungsten plate or tungsten foil, I believe. Okay. Tungsten, we have a decent amount of it now. Let's just craft 16 plates to then put this into foil. Very nice. And 2 should be enough. I think we have enough marble for this. I'm not 100% sure. But let's go ahead and turn this into some foil. Hopefully we can do it in the LV here. Very nice. I also did some playing around with the ME interfaces on the back of machines. So I kind of just wanted to learn exactly how it worked. And it seems like it's fairly self-explanatory now that I've got it all connected. I just got to have the machines in a better spot to actually utilize it. Because the way these are set up is kind of how I have all my other machines set up. And this is just not going to work. We don't need the chests and stuff because we'll have it input and output all through that interface. And yeah, that should be how we should do things from here on out. All right, tungsten foil. There we go. There's the fine wire. And theoretically, that should be the ruined marble. Okay, cool. There we go. There's 4 of it. We're going to need more marble, though. We don't have a whole lot, but that should be fine. So we're going to need 4 this and a rock crystal. We have a good amount of them. Let's just take this one. Tungsten steel, the double tungsten steel plates. Cool, and now all we got to do is put back our spacesuit. We don't suffocate. And then head to Pluto. /home Pluto. Very nice. And now we just got to get inside. This should be charged up. Ruined marble, rock crystal, double tungsten steel, and then marble all the way. And then the luminous crafting table. And do we need to use our wand to start that craft? Yes, we do. Oh, this is sick looking. Oh no. Are you converting it? What's happening here? Oh my goodness. So it worked. You learned more about attunement. Okay. Well. Well, I guess we should pick this up so we can get that quest. Okay, so we got the quest completed now. Oh no, I can't place it down again. Okay, so we got to put it outside. Let's see. Let's put it right here. How does this like it? This looks a little bit confusing. Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how this works, but at least now we have the option to play around with it. Also, there's this quest here. Man, it can be fun to cheat. If you would like to use Astral purely as a tech mod with great quality of life, use this quest to completely skip over all the Astral's research progression and learn all the constellations. Yeah, I really don't feel like running around Pluto's surface looking for all the constellations. So I'm going to grab this, and yeah, I'm a cheater. So I think that I got everything. I have no idea, but we'll hang on to it just in case that didn't actually work. Interesting. Oh, we can see all the constellations in the sky now. Oh, this is crazy looking. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I guess what we need to do is get up on out of here, but I want to check this real quick in the Space and Dimensions tab. I want to make this light well so we can start making some liquid starlight. And I think we need the luminous crafting table to do so. Yeah, we don't need this version, I don't think. Okay, so the big bottleneck is getting the ruthenium and the osmium, which we do not have yet. So that's going to be a little bit until we get that. I do have the ingredients to make these, I believe, but it is a long chain, especially to make that ruthenium. My God, it is not easy. Anyway, let's just head back home. Cool. There we go. So we got 2 of them done. So the reason I had that fluid drilling plant in there is because if you look here in the EV age and we look over on the nuclear side, which is what I want to kind of get into here, I see the argon. I was just kind of going along the top here and looking at the argon, and the argon can be made by distillation of liquid air, and we need a lot of it to get all of this. I guess we can also put it into a regular distillery, but that seems super wasteful. So we're gonna definitely have to make our first distillation tower to get all of these different things here. It only takes HV, and it doesn't seem like it's too hard to make. It does take some EV circuits, but we should be far enough along where we can make those with minimal effort. So that's something we're gonna need to do at some point here. So that's what that's for, so we can try to find some liquid air. Actually, I think I already crafted the fluid drilling plant to get myself something. Let's see, where is it at? Yep, fluid drilling plant, and this should complete a quest for us. Yep, back from the MB chapter. So that's all the quests completed in here finally, except for the thruster jetpack. Oh, I guess we still have some more here with some fuel, but I'm sure we'll get those whenever we start making our distillation tower. But the reason I wanted to get this is because we get the solar panel and the data stick. I'm not sure what the data stick is for, but those are going to be useful in figuring out where we can get the liquid air. And the solar panel will be extremely useful for many other things. We can use it on our miner as well, so we don't need to bring any fuel with us. So that should be super cool. But yeah, that's what that's for. Let's see, what do we use this data stick for? Does it really say? Are you right-click in the air with it? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the solar fluid sampler. Maybe we have to put that in there and it'll kind of tell us. But let's see, actually. Let's check it out. We need some sunlight, which we don't have currently, but we can deal with that. Put the solar panel on top, and then I think you put the data stick in here. And it's not going to work because it's nighttime. So let's go rock asleep. Let's also get this armor off. It'll be nice when we can charge our LUV quantum chest plate, or nano muscle chest plate, because then we can put some airtight seal on it. And hopefully be able to exist outside of using the spacesuit. Okay, let's go to sleep real quick so we can get some sunlight. Cool, and this should kind of encode this data stick and kind of let us know what we're looking at. Yeah, it's doing something. It's gonna take 30 seconds. It looks like an interesting data stick. Let's see, is that something that we're gonna have to use multiple times? Do we need to craft this? Ooh, I hope not. That is kind of annoying to craft. Let's see. Oh, maybe you can only use one at a time. I see. Empty chunk. So you can reuse it. Interesting. So you use it in the chunk, and I assume you put it inside of the fluid drilling plant so it knows what to get. And then at that point, you can reuse it by putting it back into the solar fluid sampler. At least that's the hope. And then you'd only need to make one of these if you wanted to have multiple running at one time, which is not too bad. So looks like we're in an empty chunk here. Does it show on our map at all? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, that's something we need to use. Do I have my crowbar on me? I do, but it should break anyway. I think it's also time for us to get some electric versions of some of these tools we can bring around with us. That's well overdue. All right, well, let me explore a little bit and kind of figure out how I want to proceed. We've landed ourselves back on Pluto. I want to get myself some liquid air using the fluid drilling plant. So I did a little bit of time running around and collecting the samples using the solar fluid sampler to find ourselves a couple veins. We found some oxygen over there, and we have some liquid air over there, which is what we need. So let's go ahead and teleport to our liquid air. I cleared out a little spot down here at Bedrock so that we can build this thing up using these thermite torches so they do not go out because there's no oxygen. But let's get this thing built. Okay, so let's start putting some of that stuff away. Let's take the fluid drilling plant. We're going to put it here, and the middle block will be here. Should be enough space. Output hatch, put that right there. Energy input will go in the back, and then we need some steel casings. Right here, and then 3 blocks up, and then we just surround the rest of it in these steel frames. Not too bad. Here, and then we need a 3-block topper on it, which we have enough space for. Cool, so now we gotta power this thing. I went and built myself another advanced gas turbine. So let's go ahead and get this built right here, and then we need some copper cable to power that. And then we have a ender tank that I have linked to our benzene setup. So we just gotta put that here. We can turn that to where it auto inputs into it. And we just need 1 ender fluid conduit into here on extract. And that should be creating us our power. Cool. So now we have this getting ourselves some liquid air. We're gonna need a lot of this, and I don't know if this drilling plant's gonna be super quick. 62 millibuckets a second, which is not a whole lot because we need 100K of this to do our first craft in our distillation center, or our distillation tower. So I have a couple, let's see if I have them on me. I have a couple super tanks, and we're just gonna kind of connect this to it and see if it'll start collecting this liquid air, and it sure will. So we're pretty much just gonna have to let this thing cook up and just let this thing collect. It looks like we have 2 billion liquid air in this chunk. So we just got to let this thing fill up. And then at that point, we should be able to do a bunch of crafts in our distillation tower, which we haven't even built yet, but that's the plan anyway. Okay, so let's make sure that this chunk is chunk loaded. I don't know if it works cross-dimensionally, but we're going to try it. Let's zoom in a little bit. Actually, we can use this chunk here and then shift left click, and now it's chunk loaded. So let's see. So it's at 5022. Let's go home. Kind of let this sit for a second. And theoretically, we should be able to go back to that. And see that it's working. Yeah, it seems like it is. But we might have to spend a little bit more time away so it's more obvious. This is going to take a long time because, like I said, we need 100,000 millibuckets to do 1 run through the distillation tower. So that's going to take a second. It'll be nice whenever we can get the upgraded versions of these fluid drilling plants, but for right now, these aren't too hard to make. So in theory, I guess we could have multiple of these set up going into 1 super tank, or even have it go back into our distillation tower. But pretty cool. Another multi-block down. This wasn't too hard to power, that's for sure. So not too bad. I don't even think it's using all the power, is it? Yeah, it's using 256. So it is using 2 amps, but anyway, it's not too hard. Not too hard to get this setup made. Back at the base, I think it's about time we set up the distillation tower and the cracker unit. Both of these things are going to be useful to get some of the ingredients that we're going to need to start getting ourselves into nuclear. Distillation tower for the argon, and the propene will be made in the cracker unit. So we'll have to run our light oil through the distillation tower to start getting some of the stuff for the propene. So for right now, we're kind of split. So I think we're going to start with the distillation tower. So we're going to start with that. Let's build it. So we put it here. It's 3 blocks. So we'll go here, the distillation tower. It does say, it does have the energy input hatch on the front, but I don't think we necessarily have to put it there. So I think we can put it in here, which it doesn't look like it can only take 2 EV. Oh, it's not getting any power yet. To get this thing powered, we're gonna have to turn on our turbine. I did put a ender tank up here with the benzene. All we gotta do is connect this thing up, and this thing should become powered. Hopefully, at least that's the goal. Now what we're gonna do, if we're gonna wanna make this as many blocks tall as we're going to need, especially for the liquid air and the light oil. There's a lot of byproducts, so this thing's gonna have to be pretty much as tall as we can make it here. So we'll have to see how that goes. But let's go ahead and check the distillation tower, how that's gonna be built. Okay, so the output bus will be on the bottom. Maintenance hatch will be right above. And it looks like the rest of this is just the clean stainless steel casings, which we did make a good amount of. We don't have any output buses, I noticed. So let's see. Let's check it one more time. I don't see anything anywhere for an input. Where is the input bus? I don't see the input hatch anywhere. Okay, so we're gonna have to make an input hatch as well. Interesting. I'm not sure how we're gonna be able to actually do this. I guess let's just start with... I just made an MV output bus because I'm not super worried about the solids that are gonna come out of this. Okay, and then we're gonna want to put the maintenance hatch above it. And then theoretically, we just put the output hatches up here. I think we can probably put the input hatch there maybe. So let's just do that. And I think this thing is hollow, so let's check that real quick. There is a muffler hatch. I think we have one of those built somewhere. Yep, it does look like it is hollow. So in theory, all we need to do is just kind of build this thing up. Input will be there. Okay, so we're probably gonna need more of these clean stainless steel casings. I do have a decent amount that I made for the cracking unit as well. I have 20 more. These aren't too bad to make. I just need to make a little bit more stainless steel. So now what we're gonna need to do is make ourselves the output hatchets. And I don't think, since we're gonna probably put these into an ender tank, or not an ender tank, we're probably gonna put these into super tanks. So we just need to probably make, maybe MB will be better. Let's see. Output hatch MB. Do I have that somewhere? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna need a good amount of these, which we probably don't have enough. Probably don't have enough aluminum if I had to guess. Let's make 7 for now, I guess. MV machine holes, and then the output hatches, just glass. Put those in there. Okay, then we need an input. We need an input. We can just use this LV one. Okay, and then we can put the input bus here. And then output hatches all the way up. We made a couple extra. Let's go ahead and make some more. So we need of the cleanest stainless steel casing. So we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 14. We need 14 more. Interesting. We need more stainless steel. I think I'm out, actually. Yeah, it does look like I'm out of stainless steel. Oof, okay. Well, this might just have to do for right now. 5's not bad. I'm okay with 5. I did notice this thing didn't build, which is not ideal. Do I have to put the energy hatch up here? Okay, well, I'm not really sure why this isn't building. Output hatches. Does it have to be? No way it has to be that. Any tier hatch can be used. An output bus. The distillation tower. The maintenance hatch. The energy input hatch. What am I missing here? far as I can tell, this should work. If it's saying any of these hatches can be used, this is the right energy hatch. Okay, well, give me a second to figure this out. Okay, so this should be working now. I needed the LV muffler hatch in there as well, but I also forgot to put in a input hatch to put in our fluids. So we should have a formed multi-block now, but now it has some problems. All we gotta do is go in here and click once, and that should help that out. It is not getting any power yet, and I'm not gonna power that until we have this one built and I have my liquid air over here. But let's go ahead and try to build and see if we have enough stuff to build the cracker unit. So start off with this. Let's see, where does this need to be? Okay, so it needs to be on the side. Energy input hatch is HV. We do have that built. Okay, I'm gonna use nichrome coils as well instead of the copper nickel. Should be fine to use. Okay, so it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block long. I think I should be able to put the energy hatch somewhere else here in the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the third block, which would be here, we can put our cracker unit. But what goes underneath of it? The maintenance hatch. Okay, so we need another maintenance hatch. Put the maintenance hatch here. Cracker unit on top. And then here we should be able to use the freedom wrench to complete this. So it's empty in the middle. Let's get rid of this sign. Let's grab our coils out. I don't think we have everything we need yet, but we have the vast majority of it. Okay. Put in our coils. Okay, now we need, so this would be the output, which I don't think we have just yet. Power goes there, but I'm wondering if I can put these are both inputs. Interesting. These are both input hatches. So we need 2 input hatches. 2 input hatches. I can probably put the power here. So let's make sure we do that. At least try it. Power will go there. Let's hit this one more time. Okay, in the front we'll have the output bus. That's okay with me. Let's just surround this. Cool. I mean, output bus there. We don't need to put the power there because we already have it in the back. Fill the rest in with the clean stainless steel. Hopefully we have enough. It looks like we should. And then all we need now is these input buses and an output bus. I don't know how big of ones we're going to need, but we're going to need some input and output hatches. Input hatch LV goes in the back. I'm okay with this, just because I think that we're probably going to be drawing it from a super tank of some kind. So it's not just going to be input directly in there. Depends if the recipe is big enough. So we'll have to see. So that's output. We need another input. Input bus. Input bus. Input hatch. My mistake. Input hatch. We have energy input hatches. All right. I think we used an LV one. So I guess we can just make another LV one just to see if it'll form. Because I'm not sure if the power will work being in the back there. We'll have to see. Is this gonna form? It doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, let's try moving the power over to this side. Oh, that's probably a problem too. Let's try that first. Let's put that in there. And that in there. And let's try to put this back where we had it. And this should maybe work. There we go. Well, that formed. That wasn't too bad. Okay, cool. Has some problems. Let's go ahead and click that. There we go. No more problems. So there is the cracking unit. I have no idea how the cracking unit works. I have a slight idea how the distillation tower works, but we'll just have to see. So I guess the first thing we're going to start off with is getting this distillation tower up in power. And in order to do that, we're going to need to start pumping some benzene up into that thing. So let's put our jetpack on so we can actually get up there. I just realized how inaccessible I made it. But yeah, I was just so used to flying. Let's put that in there. Set that to extract. And this thing should start to ramp up. Slowly but surely. It's producing 6 EU, 7 EU per tick. It's going to take a little bit for it to actually work here. Let's check this. Yeah, it's getting power. Very slowly, but in theory it should be working. And then also I need to connect this to the transformer because this is using HV. Now I don't know how this is going to work because it's 4 EV amps allegedly into 16 amp HV, and I just have 2 HV coming out of this, so I could just burn these cables up. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I'm hoping this should still work. It looks like it's powered. Okay, well, that's not too bad. I also grabbed our super tank from Pluto. It has 336,000 millibuckets, which in this recipe should be able to craft 3 times to get ourselves some of the different ingredients out of that. I did end up having to change this input hatch to EV because the actual buffer is 100,000 millibuckets. So if we're going to want to be able to craft something that has that requirement, we need this to be able to support that. So I guess we can just try to extract this in there. And then once it hits 100,000, it should start to go. We'll see. And because these are MV hatches, it should be able to handle a couple crafts of it. Actually, I don't know, because I think the first one is oxygen, right? And it might be 78k, so it might just, I don't know how that's gonna work. I guess we'll find out. I'm not too worried about it since we have a large amount of it. There we go, we can see it crafting. Yeah, so it's 78 buckets of nitrogen and 20 of oxygen. Oh my god. Okay, so that's probably full of argon, oxygen, nitrogen, more nitrogen, more nitrogen. Okay, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna need to upgrade these hatches. Although we did get the thing we set out to get, which was the argon. So I'm not super upset with that. Let's check this one more time and see some of the other things that we can get from the liquid air. And let's see. So we're getting the first 3. We're not getting any carbon dioxide, neon, or helium, hydrogen, krypton, methane, or xenon. Okay, I'm not too worried about that, but yeah, this isn't gonna work because 3 of these are dedicated to just nitrogen. So we're probably gonna need a different hatch for this, so we can actually get all this out. But anyway, we have the argon, which is nice. I'm just gonna complete this quest because we do have access to it. And then the propene. Let's check the propene one more time. I think this is where we get. Yeah, we need the steam cracked stuff, which we can use the cracking unit. So we're gonna need to get some steam over here, which we have access to, and some light fuel. Let's see. We need some light fuel. We have light oil. There's a bunch of light oil in a drum. Can we get light oil or light? Yeah. Okay, sulfuric naphtha. Sulfuric light fuel. What can we do with the sulfuric light fuel? We can distill it into light fuel. Okay, so we do have some more chemical processes that need to happen, at least for the light oil to give us some useful stuff. Once we get the light oil, we can steam crack it. We can use hydrogen as well. That might be the wave. Hydro cracked or steam cracked. I think they both are just as useful for getting... maybe I was wrong. We do get propene from this, but I think one of them we get a bunch of stuff from. So we'll have to look into that and see exactly what we can get from that. For right now, I need to figure out if I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade a lot of these hatches so that they can take all the nitrogen we're getting, because that's a lot of nitrogen. To be honest with you, I don't even know if we need it, because we're producing it in multiple different places here from like air collectors. I mean, we have so much of it. I set this up too. I don't know if I talked about this, the chemical reactor creating ammonia from nitrogen, but yeah, we have an insane amount of nitrogen. So we've got a lot of chemistry that needs to happen amongst these two multi-blocks here to get us into the next age. I think that's what we're going to call it for today. A lot of multi-blocks today and a lot of progress. And we should be set up, after a little bit of work here in our distillation tower, to get into nuclear next episode. I'm excited. I'm also a little bit nervous. Maybe a lot of bit nervous, but we'll figure it out together. So if you guys did enjoy the episode, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel and you've never seen any of my videos before, go ahead and hit subscribe and kind of embark on me with this journey of learning Greg Tech. So it's a little bit different than what you're maybe used to from a Greg Tech player, but slowly but surely we are building up our repertoire of knowledge that is Greg Tech. So that's all I've got for you guys today, guys. It's been Eagle. Peace.